Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS current affair analysis for 15th May 2020, and these are the articles we'll be dealing today. The first article for the day is taken from the Live Mint and it is titled 5 ways in which blockchain technology can aid a recovery. This article is about the efficacy of blockchain technology in solving the problem of economic issues that arise after the lockdowns is lifted. So, are we proposing that blockchain can solve the COVID-19 crisis? Not exactly, because no one technology can solve a pandemic. Blockchain, along with a lot of other technologies, can definitely help the post-lockdown situation. That is the central premise of this article. Now, let us look at how blockchain will help us. So, before that, what exactly is blockchain? So blockchain is like an Excel sheet that is working on Google Cloud. So whenever a change is made by a user, the entire ecosystem that has access to this Google sheet will know the transactions. It is very transparent. Thus, blockchain is a decentralized ledger. So what is a ledger? Ledger is a book containing accounts to which debits and credits are posted from the books of original entry. So a blockchain is a digitized, decentralized public ledger. So the first application of blockchain can be seen in a better supply chain. So in order to build more resilient supply chains, we can use this technology. If you take a look at the COVID situation, the biggest disruption is because of the disruption of supply chain. It made it very hard to get raw materials. So raw materials were not transported from one area to another area because of the lockdown scenario. So usually it is not the entire supply chain which is disrupted, but one critical link. So this critical link can be identified. For example, if there are not enough drivers to drive the trucks from one area to another in just a part of the city, that critical part of the supply chain has been disrupted. Or for another example, if you take into consideration a specific warehouse is not accessible, so it becomes very difficult to move goods from that warehouse. Most often, the problem with supply chain disruption is because early detection of these critical links are missing. So here is where blockchain can help us. Blockchain can be used to offer transparent, traceable and cheaper supply chain solutions. So we can easily identify using data, Internet of Things and various other artificial intelligence based products to ensure that real-time data sharing is possible. The second problem is there is also an idea that universal basic income should be discussed in our country and it should be implemented in a pilot phases. So UBI is like an unconditional cash transfer to the population. So UBI would have been a welcome relief for migrants, farmers and people who are not able to bear the brunt of this lockdown situation. So a blockchain based technology, using this technology we can create a digital currency, say something like Bitcoin, and this can be used for UBI. So millions who are unbanked but have some mobile or internet connectivity can access this. This has health benefits too because it will now replace the paper currency which is a virus carrier. Another idea that can be considered is fractional ownership. So for example, you have an apartment worth 1 crore. So this can be liquefied into a lot of multiple tokens, say 10 rupees each, and these can enable fractional ownership, and this will allow cash and capital starved COVID society to have easy access to liquid cash. The reason why this idea was not possible before was because of the lack of transparency and a fear that it might be misused. The next field where it can be very useful is the healthcare. So we don't have a centralized healthcare repository on a global level. So there are rarely any records which facilitate this easy universal electronic medical record transactions between countries. So if we can employ this blockchain technology and base our healthcare records on blockchain technology, it can ensure security, transparency, and at the same time give privacy to the individuals as well. But this will be very difficult to do. But if the commitment is shown by all the governments across the world, this can be done. So in this time of COVID-19 crisis, there is also a need for charity. But there is also a fear that this money can be misused. Even in these scenarios, various corporates can come together and implement this blockchain technology for the organization that is running this charitable funds. So this is the gist of this article. The next article for the day is taken from The Hindu and it is titled Keeping Asia Pacific Afloat. So the central premise of this article is the importance of marine environment in Asia Pacific region, because this area is closely linked to livelihoods and also sustainable development. So for generations, this area has been the region where trade flourished. It provided food, livelihoods, and a sense of identity for a lot of coastal communities. However, in the present world, the escalating strains on marine environment are threatening these countries. So the main reason for this lifestyle changes is climate change and our unsustainable way of living. The present COVID-19 crisis has shown that the pollution levels have come down, clearly indicating that the man-made reasons are completely responsible for whatever climate change activities that we are witnessing right now. So the post-COVID world should accommodate this idea of sustainability in its economic model. How do we do this? If we take a look at the Sustainable Development Goals, where 17 goals were recognized by the countries world over, the SDG goal, that is goal number 14, is life underwater. Despite having such an important goal, we do not have a formidable data to make our policy decisions. So this lack of data is the first concern. Another important problem with respect to marine pollution is the plastic pollution. This plastic issue has become so common that it is almost affecting every single coastal community. So Asia Pacific produces nearly 38% of the plastic waste across the world. So plastic represents a double burden for the ocean, because their production increases carbon dioxide emissions. At the same time, they also act as pollutants in water. So as a result, it will also affect marine life, and the fish stocks are also coming down. This will severely impact the small islands and other developing states of the Pacific, which experience much lower levels of connectivity, and this will leave them behind in the global economy. So all these issues call for a collaborative effect from our global community. So through the Oceans Accounts Partnership, ESCAPE, or the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, reveal that without data, we are not able to do anything. So ESCAPE says that the focus should be to translate the international agreements and standards into national level. We need national level and subnational level activity, and that should together converge to produce global level results. That is the need of the hour. So for this purpose, SDG goal number 17, that is partnerships, is also into focus. Therefore, our oceans keep our economy and our lives above the waves. That is the key takeaway from this article.